Today's recipe is this popular Nigerian snack called meat pie. It is a pastry with filling of meat and vegetables. I will give you guys all the tips and tricks to get a moist filling like this and also a crumbly crust just like this. Look at it. And that's how your meat pie should be. These meat pies are Nigerians' favorite snack. And I promise you, you will enjoy this because they are absolutely delicious. Hello everyone, glad to have you back in my kitchen again. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. Please click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all my detailed videos. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you'll be among the first to be notified of all my new videos. And to all my returning subscribers, I say thank you. I appreciate your love and support. So now let's get started. Here are the list of ingredients: 4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 cup butter, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half teaspoon salt, 1 egg plus 2 tablespoons of water for egg wash, and half cup of cold water plus 3 tablespoons, a quarter teaspoon of paprika, and a quarter teaspoon of turmeric. This is just to add some color to my dough. This is totally optional. I am adding this because my butter is light yellow. It won't give me my desired color that is similar to the one obtained in Nigeria. So if your butter is very much yellow, you can leave this out. For the filling, 1 pound ground beef, half cup diced carrot, half cup diced potatoes, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder, half teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon curry powder, quarter teaspoon ground thyme, 2 teaspoon bouillon chicken powder, 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of water, 1.5 tablespoon of vegetable oil, half cup of water, 2 tablespoons of flour, and quarter cup of finely diced onions. Into a bowl, you add in your flour and then your baking powder, your turmeric and paprika. This is optional, and then salt. Then you give it a very good whisk. Add in your diced cold butter. The tinier you dice it, the easier for you to work with it. So now I'm going to combine the butter and the flour until I get a crumbly bread-like texture. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes. After combining it, it should look like breadcrumbs. The mixture should come together like this. Then you add in your cold water, a little at a time, and you mix. We are using very cold water and very cold butter, all from the fridge. Please note that will affect the outcome of your dough after baking to give it a flaky texture. Another thing is, do not overmix your dough. Once it has come together, then you transfer it onto a work surface and mold it into one log, and then you divide it into 2. Once divided, you place it in a plastic wrap and form it into a disc and place it in your fridge to rest for about 30 minutes. And while that is resting, we will now go on to start making our filling. Place wok on stovetop over medium heat. Add in vegetable oil and heat up for about 30 seconds. And then you add in your onions and fry for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Then you add in your ground beef. Then stir immediately and add in your spices all at the same time and give it a good stir. Stir to combine the meat and the spices properly and fry for about 1 to 2 minutes. Once properly combined, then you add in your water and then you add in your carrots and diced potatoes and combine everything together. Then we're gonna cover it now and simmer it on medium-low heat for about 7 minutes or until your potatoes are cooked. Please make sure to cook the potatoes and carrots properly because they wouldn't have time to cook in the oven. To make my slurry, I'll add in water into my flour and whisk together. Once properly combined, I will add it into the meat and potatoes. Then stir it immediately so that it doesn't form lumps. So right now I'm making this to make the filling moist so that when it's baking in the oven, it doesn't dry up. I'll go ahead and make my egg wash. Crack one egg into a cup or mug and add in 2 tablespoons of water and give it a good whisk. Then I'll set it aside for later use. Here is my dough from the fridge. With the aid of a rolling pin, I'll roll it out gently. Though the dough might feel strong or hard to roll, but just keep rolling it gradually. Keep rolling the dough and turning and flipping it when needed. The dough should be rolled out flat to about a 1/4 inch thick. I will be using this cover of pot as my cutter, and this is 5.5 in diameter. Well, if you have a pie cutter, that will work very fine here and even easier for you. So right now, I'll cut all the pieces out and place them aside. I was able to cut out 4 pieces. So right now, the extra pieces, I'll put them together and wrap them in a plastic wrap and return it back into the fridge while I work on the other dough. And I'll repeat the same thing I did with the other dough. Repeat the same process of rolling out and cutting out your dough until you exhaust everything. So this is what I have. This recipe yields 12 meat pies. So right now I'll go ahead and add in my filling into each of the pieces. Add in 1 tablespoon of filling about halfway into your dough. Please make sure not to overfill, if not it's gonna be difficult for you to close it up. As you can see, my filling isn't in the center of my dough. I left some extra space by the side, and the upper side has more space because that's what I'll use to flip it over and close up the filling. Then now you line it up with the other side of the dough, making sure it's lined up properly. And now I will just use my fingers to crimp it. So you want to make sure you crimp it well because it's the crimping that seals up the dough so that your filling doesn't spill out when baking in the oven. And now I'll place it on a parchment paper. And I'll repeat the same process with the remaining dough. Some people like to use egg wash to apply inside the dough before closing it up to help seal it up. If you're not sure of the crimping, you can apply the egg wash by using a brush inside before closing up. Rather than use your finger to crimp it, you can also use a fork, just as seen in the video. You press it down. Make sure you apply pressure and press it down to seal it up properly. So while I was adding my filling, these pieces were in the fridge chilling for about 15 minutes. I'll roll it out and cut it just as earlier on. Then I'll add filling into it. Just the same process I'll repeat until I exhaust all the dough. Here are my meat pies already looking beautiful even before being baked. So right now I'll apply my egg wash gently on them. I'll use a fork to create some vents to allow steam to escape from the meat pie while it's baking in the oven. So these are ready to go into the preheated oven of 340 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. Just keep an eye on them, and I'll brush the other pan with egg and do the same thing. Yes, the meat pies are ready. As you can see, they are looking beautiful, well baked, and yummy. My house smells incredibly delicious right now. You just need to come into my house and just perceive the aroma. So right now, I'll place them on a cooling rack to cool for about some minutes before I serve. You can eat them warm, they are nice, and you can eat them cold too. And now look at how moist the inside of the meat pie is. And now let me show you guys how flaky the crust is. Take a look. Look at how flaky it is. Now on a closer look, look at how this meat pies turned out. Aren't these beautiful? Don't they look so inviting? And I bet you, these even taste better than they look. This can stay fresh for up to 5 to 7 days in the refrigerator. So guys, please do give this recipe a try and let me know in the comment section down below how it turned out for you. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do subscribe for more amazing and detailed recipes like this. And don't forget to hit on the notification bell so you'll be among the first to be notified of all my new videos. Please don't forget to like this video, share, and give me a thumbs up, please. Remain blessed as always. I will see you guys in my next one soon. Bye-bye. Enjoy your meat pies.